Hi, today I thought we'd have a look at factorising algebraic expressions. It's something that people seem to find a little bit difficult, so I thought we'd have a look. I've picked out three of getting gradually harder. So we're starting with 2a plus a squared. We're then moving on to 4b minus 2b squared. And finally, quite a difficult looking one, 3a squared b plus 9ab minus 6ab squared. Now factorising means we're just looking for those elements within each of the expressions, and by an expression in this first one I'm talking about the term 2a and the term a squared. We're looking for something in common there that we then take outside of the brackets, put brackets in. The brackets mean we're multiplying everything. I'll give you an example of this. So if we said that with the first one we've got 2a plus a squared. Now when you're not used to doing these, it's perhaps not obvious. So I'm just going to write it out, sort of factorise it with each term so you can see what we're doing. So that's actually the same as saying 2 times a plus a times a. I'm putting a plus in there for some reason, I don't know why. Okay. I've added brackets just to make it a bit more obvious, but if you think of bit maths, or if you've learnt bod maths, it's the same thing. We would do the multiplication before we would do the addition, so the brackets aren't really needed, but it's quite a good idea to put them in at this stage just to help you to see what we're doing. Okay, so what we're going to look at is what have we got there that we can take outside of the brackets that are common to both those terms. And if you look, there's a 2 in this one, but there isn't a 2 in this one, so the 2 can't come outside of the brackets. It's not a common factor. There's an a there, and we've got 2 a's here, so we can take a factor of a outside the brackets. So I'm just going to cross them out so we know that's what we're going to use. And then we can put equals. We put the a outside of the brackets. We open the brackets we're going to multiply by. In this bracket, we had 2 times a. The a's outside of the brackets, so what we're left with is the 2. We keep the plus, and then here we've used one of the a's, but we've got an a left. So our answer then is a, open brackets, 2 plus a, close brackets. Now, if we wanted to check that to see if we've got the right answer, and to be honest, I just do this when I'm doing these to make sure I've got them right. I'd just do a quick multiplication. It's like expanding the brackets when you've done that before. So we'd say a times 2 is 2a, and a times a is a squared. So we know we've got right back to the right thing. Here we've just got a times 2 plus a as a whole entity there. So that's the first one. Okay, so I'm going to just move on to the next one now. So the second one, four b minus 2b squared. So what does that look like if we actually break those terms down? We end up with so the first one is 4 times b minus 2 times b times b. So let's look and see what we've got there in common. The 4 isn't in common, but we've got a 4 and we've got a 2. So we can use it. We can use the 2 from there, which leaves 1, which we don't need to write. And we can use 2 from there, which leaves us 2. So we've got to remember that's what we'll have left in the brackets when we take the 2 outside of the brackets. Let's take the 2 outside the brackets now. And that will leave inside the brackets a 2 there, minus sign, and we haven't got a number coefficient there. Okay, so what else have we got? We've got a b, and we've got 2 b's there, so we can cross that b out, and we can cross that b out. So that means we put a b there because that's the factor that we've crossed out. Okay, so we've now got 2b, open brackets. From 4b, once we've taken 2b out, we're just left with the 2. Then we've got the minus sign, and from 2 times b, once we've taken 2b out, we're left with just b. So that gives us 2b, open brackets, 2 minus b, close brackets. If we wanted to just check that to make sure that we're going to get back to the original thing, then we say 2b times 2 is 4b, that works, and 2b minus b, times those together, we get minus 2b squared, so that works too. Okay, let's try the last one. So, I'm going to have okay, so that's the whole expression, 3a squared b plus 9ab minus 6ab squared. So I'm now going to break that down as I did with the other two. It looks a lot more complicated, but we just use exactly the same principle. So that equals 3 times a times b, add 9 times a times b, subtract 6 times a times b times b. Okay, so now we've got to look for the common factors there. Now we've got 3 terms here, not just 2 terms. So to take one outside of the brackets, it's got to appear in all 3 of these, not just 2 of them. It's got to be in all 3. So outside of the brackets then, look at the numbers first. We've got a 3, we've got a 9, and we've got a 6. The common factor there is 3. We can't get anything higher than that. So we can put the 3 outside of the brackets. That takes the 3 away altogether. We could write a 1 above it, but we're not going to write the 1, so we don't need to. 3 into 9 goes 3 times, so we're going to have a 3 to put in that part of the term in the bracket. And 3 into 6 goes twice, so we've got a 2 left over there. Okay? So let's look at what we've got next. We've got an a, and then it got a squared here, a times a. In this bracket we've only got 1a, and in this bracket we've got 1a. So we can have 1a outside of the bracket. Let's put our a there. So we can cross an a out there, an a out there, and an a out there. Then let's have a look at what else we've got left. Look at the terms of b. We've got a b there, we've got a b there, and we've got a b times b there. So we can have a b outside of the bracket. Let's cross a b out of each term. Okay, so our highest common factor that we can have outside of the bracket is 3ab. So we'll open brackets now and see what we've got left from each term. So from the term 3a squared b, we've crossed all these out, we're just left with an a. And we've got a plus. And then from the term 9ab, we're just left with 3. And then we've got a minus. And then from the term 6ab squared, we're left with the 2. And we're left with a b. Close brackets. Now, I might have made a mistake there as I'm doing this, so because I haven't looked at my notes, so I'm just going to double check. So I've got 3ab times a, that would make it an a squared, 3ab squared, so I've done that one correctly. And then I've got 3ab times 3, well that's 3 times 3 is 9, so that's 9ab, so that's correct too. And 3ab times 2b, that's a little bit more tricky. So the 3 times the 2 gives me the 6, there's only the a, and then there's a b times the b, which gives me a b squared, so that's correct too. So to factorise 3a squared b plus 9ab minus 6ab squared, we get 3ab, open brackets, a plus 3 minus 2b, close brackets. Okay, now that's factorisation where we've only got one set of brackets when we factorise, not 2 sets. That's a little bit more complicated, and I'll do a different video on that one. I hope that helps you. Thank you.